Welcome back, everyone, to more Gamedec. Sexy. Me smart. Wake up, buddy.
Oh, was I snoring? Sorry. No, thank goodness it's harvest. There's no snoring here unless I missed some patch.
Tell me a story.
You heard my story about old game systems? Would you like to hear about the legendary artifact now, or how I became sheriff?
Tell me the legend of this artifact.
Alright, it's about a decade ago. An event was announced that would last all year. A year! It was said that one of the loot boxes would contain a legend of harvest time. The artifact jewel, I can still remember it. It was a house in the game, House of Happiness. It was covered in flowers. It boosted the joy of neurotransmitters or whoever was in it.
Go on, Ed. I'm listening.
So there was this player, Ted Godiva, who sold his apartment everything he had to improve chances. He spent a lot of money on boost. That's how he got that treasure. The house is still hovering somewhere in the game in Elysium. He settled here in harvest time. He became a Zonut. He only had enough money to keep his brain alive for a few months. Even while he was dying, he kept smiling.
I've read reports on Zonets. You need lots of money to stay alive for years, and not just to keep a netrium. An organic brain gets older. Someone would have to keep providing him Everbrain, a regenerative enzyme. Maintaining a netrium liquids the enzyme. It costs a fortune.
Okay, now that you listen to my story, I can answer questions.
Do you know anything about a player called the Outlaw?
Do I know anything? I can't tell you that. The Outlaw is a member of Rusty Ed's guild, just like dozens of other players that ask nicely enough. Including you, my friend. Why don't you just have it out with them like civilized players? I don't know who they are, and I really don't give a fuck.
Tell me another story.
I've got one more. Where do I start? You know, we're all not up about it up in here. We're not waving our arms around. Our corpses lie still on couches. Mine's at a place, yours is at a place, and sometimes it's all about speed here, especially with duels. But I mean your neuronal speed, not bodily. You want to be sheriff, you must beat the previous one. You must be faster, more precise.
Go on.
This guy was good. Everyone could see it, but I noticed something. He would enter the game for up to 3 hours, maybe 4. It was always like that, but once he lingered playing poker, it was 6 hours, 7, and guess what? The guy was staggering, dropping off. I noticed his fragile brain, quick but easily fatigued. It was his vulnerability. Next time I played him myself, I kept letting him win. I challenged him to a sunset duel after he had spent 12 hours here. He couldn't turn it down, that's the rule. He was good, but I could see in his eyes that he had already lost. His eyelids were twitching from the adrenaline rush.
I'm guessing this isn't over. Go on.
So he wouldn't give up without a fight. He knew that that would insult me. Don't get me wrong, he was a good guy. He knew I discovered his weakness. Maybe if he had the money, he could have paid to get his neurons enhanced. Maybe that's what the poker was for. I never saw him again in here. Maybe he had a breakdown. Was he fed up with his quick fatigue? That bothered me a bit. Anyways, I was sheriff here for a full month before I lost the duel, but I've never forgotten that guy. He had a nice vintage nick. Killed them all.
Kill them all. I know him. I met him many times. I even invited him to my show once.
Really? Hot damn. Well, I'm glad he's still holding up. Alright, I suspect you want to ask me a question. Now go ahead.
Did you admit me to your guild?
Sure, you listen to my stories and I can see you're not a member of any other guild. Just a minute. there. Welcome to Rusty Ed's Guild. Make sure to read the terms and conditions. It's just one sentence. Be nice. Yeehaw! You are now a member of Rusty Ed's Guild. Thus, you get access to the Guild House, where you'll find tons of attractions. The Guild House is available from level 15, so get on your farm and level up. Don't worry about levels. My guild runs on principles from 20 years ago, when there was no such limitation. The house is open. I've always liked to see it come and go. That's the appeal of old games.
Ed, what can you tell me about Leanne? I got the impression you knew her.
I do, from way back, but I can't tell you anything because it's not polite to gossip. At all.
Fine, I won't push you.
Thank you, my friend Leanne is a new character in the game. She's back after a hiatus. I think she wants to start over. You see, she's sort of a public figure in Relium, so she values privacy and sensory words. Yep, but now I'd like to take a nap.
Ed yawned and snored. As I was leaving, Ed flinched suddenly as if he felt a prickling sensation. I felt a chill. I suddenly felt a strange presence a few steps away from me. I noticed some movement out of the corner of my eye. The air was shimmering the way it does on hot days. It looked like a shadow generated by the game's engine, a shadow of a human. It could have been a bug or an invisible player. As a game deck, I couldn't ignore these kinds of phenomena. I went back to Ed. He was sleeping like a log.
Hello again.
What do you think about the sheriff, Betty?
What everyone in High Rock does. He's a solid and helpful player. I suppose you don't have an opinion yet. You're still new around here.
People with good reputations always make me suspicious. Betty laughed.
And rightly so. It's always best to see for yourself.
I'm looking for information about the outlaw. I heard that the player was here recently.
Oh, that new character leveled up real quick and hold themselves up somewhere. I'm afraid they might be another fraud.
Another fraud? Do you think the outlaw is working with someone? Is there some kind of gang here?
Hard to say. We had some trouble with this guy, Blackrock. He peddled illegal items and swindled people. The admins banned him at the sheriff's request.
Could you tell me something about your life in Relium?
Sure, it's not a secret. I work for the Ministry of Internal Affairs. I organize new holidays.
Are you saying that you're at work right now? You're on a couch somewhere in the ministry?
That's right, sweetheart. We've got a lot of free time here. Currently, we're working on Neighbor's Day.
Neighbor's Day sounds interesting. We're talking Relium, not some in-game event, right?
Yes, Relium needs holidays and events just as much as games do. This event is supposed to counteract the most common cause of depression in free Europe, loneliness. People will go out to parking lots and squares carrying treats. Then the host will initiate conversations with simple icebreakers.
That's a really good idea. I'd like to get to know my neighbors myself.
Really, I think it's idiotic, but the office pays us to come up with this shit, and I can play Harvest Time in the meantime.
It was a small pink fruit covered in soft hair. I handed the fruit to the saleswoman. I'd like to buy this one. The woman put the fruit in a paper bag and a small sum left my account.
Thank you.
Alright, don't know what the fuck I bought fruit for, but okay.
Hold on, sweetheart.
Betty leaned over and looked at me conspiratorially.
You asked about that player. I know that Black Rook and the Outlaw were doing shady business together. But you didn't hear that from me.
Betty winked at me and started arranging her wares.
Howdy, cowboy. I think we've met before. What a surprise. We have a few simple questions as a Harvest Time player. It will only take a moment unless you, like Big Ben Bow, don't be like Ben Bow.
The girl scowled. What's the point of this interrogation?
We're collecting data. You'll learn more over the course of it.
Okay, go ahead.
Here we go. Question number 1. How long have you been playing Harvest Time?
Not long, less than a day.
Have you ever been to the graveyard on the hill?
Yeah, I have.
Have you heard about the Tree of Knowing?
I've heard something about it.
Have you ever experienced flashbacks that weren't yours?
That usually happens when I forget to take my medication.
Oh, you're a bundle of laughs. Do you ever feel like someone is telling you what to say, as if they've taken over your mind and will?
No, not at all. I felt a wave of intense anxiety. A part of me flipped out upon hearing the question and made me say no.
Hey, easy, we're just talking, okay? It'll go smoothly now. Give me any number that comes to your mind.
314. 300 and... What? What kind of question is this? What are you trying to drag me into?
Take it easy, don't freak out, it's cool. Yeah, thanks, that's all. Your turn. Is there anything you want to ask us?
I'm conducting an investigation and I'm collecting information about residents. Tell me all you know about the sheriff.
Let me say what everyone says. The sheriff is fast.
Maya winked at her friend.
Yeah, you should see him.
Okay, but you know me. My followers would like to know more. Tell me something more about the guy.
So, the sheriff, he's like incredibly fast, you know? And we found out he's like using this cheat, a speed boost they call it. Just don't tell anyone. It's our leverage against him, a safeguard in case our clan wants something from him in the future. And would you believe the sheriff answered 314 too? Funny, huh?
Maya scowled at her companion.
That's about it, right, sister?
Why are you asking about the Tree of Knowing?
We're collecting info for our clan. It's a top secret mission, you know, so we can't tell you too much. Actually, we don't know much either. If you learn anything, make sure to let us know. Totally, come back with some solid info on the tree and you won't regret it. The Han clan knows how to return a favor.
So how's your clan doing? What was the name that starts with an H?
Yeah, dumb shit, Han clan, I just said that. The best org in the world. And the most profound message, concept, and narrative. It's a riot, dude. Make sure to drop in Knight's Code. That's where our headquarters are. Jeez, it's so amazing, like everything starts making sense.
What was behind the question about a number, that 314? Does it mean anything?
Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. We're not quite sure, but we're checking it out. Actually, it's not the first time we've heard such a response from an interviewee.
Maya shot her a look and Mia stopped short.
But the fact that you reacted quite oddly to that number may mean something.
The cowgirl was tending to a horse and paid no attention to me.
Pretzel, my precious, want some more hay?
Morning, can I ask?
Can't you see I'm talking to Pretzel?
That's one beautiful horse. Look at that lean profile, that swan-like neck, those ears pointing perfectly forward.
You know your horses. I'd be happy to continue this conversation once I'm done talking to him.
The women were involved in a lively conversation and didn't grace me with a glance. I stood aside and listened.
Do you honestly think it was here, in this graveyard? The legend grew on collapse. That's why there's no trace of it. The cosmic tree, Axis Mundi, the tree of good and evil. This symbol is present in every culture. The Vikings, Australian tribes, Christian and Slavic myths. It's everywhere. According to these beliefs, there's a spot where time stops along the tree's axis around its trunk. It allows you to connect with the past and future. For the Australian ArtsNet people, the cosmic axis was a pillar. It transformed unknown space into the world, an organized reality. Holy shit, alright.
Now I know where the tree is, but not really.
Howdy, howdy, good to see you again.
I heard the tree was here, in harvest time. It sparked player interest. They're discussing what it means and what it was made for.
Keep going, I'm getting all this down.
From what I know, the location where it appeared is now closed. It's a graveyard.
Nice. This seems to confirm our theories. Now tell us honestly, what do you think the tree is?
Someone made it for a reason. There's no question about that. I don't think it's just for decoration. There's a secret behind it.
You're a cool guy, you know. How can we repay you?
No problem. If I need anything, I'll let you know in the future.
Unless you ask for something I have but don't know about yet, it's a deal. You know, I hate gray areas like that.
I suspect the outlaw is the real victim here. A person that hides in the game instead of logging out and disappearing in Relium can't be guilty of anything. But he could be the cheater or the perpetrator.
It's wonderful to see you in this world.
We need to find this ghost. This invisible force. The girl smiled when she saw me.
Hello, what a nice day.
I'm looking for a player named Stanley. Do you know him?
Well, their stand is next to mine, but I don't think her business is limited to selling fruit. You know, I overheard that some players address her in a particular way. They lean over and say, "Show me your wares," very empathetically. I think it's some kind of password.
Do you know anything about the Orange Farmers?
Only that they trade stuff with Betty. She might know more. She's a talker.
How are things in High Rock?
Sorry, I don't know anything. I'm trying to stay away from other players for now.
What do you sell?
Nothing at the moment. My trade channel is closed. I'm getting ready to take on the town profession of merchant. Currently, I'm practicing slogans. Enjoy the game, partner.
Show me your wares. Bet he winked at me knowingly.
I also have a Midnight Express ticket for friends and regulars only, 20,000.
Thanks, but I can't afford it. I stood and watched him work.
We keep talking, and here comes another treasure, and in it, an empty crate for attracting named insects, ornate for potato beetles. Two-fold draped mantilla with a 5-star renown bonus during farmer fiestas. An untainted coyote carcass with 1 week decay time.
We're looking for something in particular. Not a lucky shot Winchester M1 1866 rifle with potato dumpling and craving. Fuck your booze. A Midnight Express ticket. The Midnight Express ticket you found. Why is it so valuable?
It allows you to go to other areas of the game, visit new places, build a new farm. It's a fresh start.
Why would anyone want a fresh start?
I don't know, because it's cool. I heard it's cool.
Guy, do you still have that ticket you dug out in front of me? I'd like to buy it from you.
Oh, listen. I know that you came here to help us, but I can't sell you this ticket. I'm sorry.
Fuck you then.
Howdy, Gamedec. So I heard you're working for the sheriff. Good call. The law has to be respected. I understand that you're chasing an outlaw and you'd like to question my people. That's problematic. You'd take too much of their time. From what I heard, the outlaw is anxious to leave High Rock. You should take your detective skills to a different part of town. Well, good luck and good day to you.
Now you get fucked. I'll do what I want. The game order, baby.
Howdy, stranger. I'm Hank, and I'll have the honor of being the gravedigger in this sunny establishment. And I don't sell coffins, so don't ask.
I'm new here. Mind if we talk?
Oh, Lord, if you have questions about the game, talk to Handy Joe by the platform. If you're interested in other topics, we can chat.
Can you tell me something about the residents of High Rock?
No one dies, so I rarely get to speak to them. Besides, I don't like gossip. I prefer to look at the sky. It's so beautiful.
You stand here for days on end. You must see things others miss, like players who aren't here just to play the game.
Just a minute ago, my old friend was pestering me for some stuff and got nothing. I haven't seen her in game for months, and now she shows up as Leanne. I think it was Leanne, and just starts convincing me to... Oh, never mind.
You know what? I interview a lot of people on camera. I've noticed they don't do well with secrets. A secret eats away at you from the inside like a worm. It's best to get it out. It makes you feel better. Finish your story.
She was looking for whales, ones with real money. She wanted to find someone to bankroll her business and reel him. She was asking about cheap bank loans. Not that I'm Electro Bank staff here, I'm a gravedigger. And I won't talk about work, I'm on leave. To be honest, she looked desperate.
My eye was caught by the reflection of a tombstone. It wasn't smooth enough to reflect anything clearly. I looked at the gravedigger's tools and wondered what holographic epitaph I'd like to see over my tombstone. Life is a fight we are meant to lose, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't fight. That's what makes life worth living, pushing back against the waves.
That's good stuff. I have to carve it on one of my stones.
The banker turned out to be a hagged bot. His name had been altered, and he had a dumb look on his face. It was crawling with flies. He wasn't paying any attention to me. I launched several apps that weren't exactly legal. I managed to access the command line and withdrew the maximum possible amount. Easy money. Can I withdraw some money from you? You know, a loan, a line of credit. I don't know how things work here. The bot responded in a thundering voice.
I'm out of fucking order. All hail the Black Rook. Checkmate, motherfuckers.
It was a neat hack, the work of a pro.
Magnificent fruit, aren't they? They're Midas's apples. They're made of gold. I wonder if they're all here. 1, 2, 3, 72, 74. Oh, shit. How you don't be touching my super premium apples? They're mine. All mine.
And so it had come to pass that Adam stole the apple, bringing the taint of original sin to harvest time. I wanted to see how it would taste. They truly are Midas apples. They turn to gold. I heard slurping, chewing, swallowing. I looked around. The sound ceased. I felt this strange presence that had haunted me before. I knew I had to investigate it. There were 2 tools I could use. Enter mirror could pierce through the cloak, while Pain Ping launched a painful jamming impulse. I opened my deck and launched Intermere and turned it toward the supposed presence. I recognized a human silhouette without a material avatar. The structure of the cloaking code seemed familiar, but I couldn't say why. After a while, the shape disappeared. I knew if I caught this ghost, I'd be able to examine it more closely, maybe even talk to it. It's time to catch a fucking ghost. Why are these cows mooing so much? They kept mooing. Did they want me to milk them? Whose cows were these anyways? They looked unclaimed, but this game had no stray animals. Their tails swung at the same pace. Was that a glitch? If it wasn't in game, I'd say someone gave these animals a scare, but who? Just as I expected, my invisible stalker reappeared. I had 2 more apps I could use to examine this activity, but both were illegal. I could trace the player by performing either a safety scan or by putting on Gamedec goggles. The scan was more reliable, but I risked drawing admin attention. The goggles were safer, but their range was limited in my field of view. It was time for this little birdie to show itself. The goggles pointed me towards the ghost, but I only had a short while to find it. I had to hurry. I was determined to catch the ghost, so I hurried in the direction suggested by the app. Got you, motherfucker. I had the enemy in the bag. I just had to restrain them. The freeze app I had in my deck was the best tool for the task. I opened a window and chose freeze, but my attack was ineffective. The enemy had some sort of security program. There was something familiar about the software. It took me a moment, but I finally recognized it. They were Gamedec apps. I was up for a duel. My enemy didn't wait for an invitation to quickly launch the first attack. Enemy attacked me with web. It was a massive thing, one I wasn't prepared for. It hit me full fucking power and gave my opponent the lead. It seemed my enemy had access to a standard collection of apps, but so did I. I opened a window with offensive and defensive programs. I had to choose an app. Though jokers named this cheat the Big Fucking Guns Plus, it wasn't an actual gun, but a deadly burst of packets. It worked similarly to Halberd. The enemy didn't stand a chance. It was a brutal hit. Still, I knew they wouldn't fall for it again. I was sure my opponent had already chosen an application. The enemy threw net at me, a slow, dispersed attack. It was time to cover myself with smokescreen. It was the perfect defense. I wasn't affected at all. I had access to tools that could bury my enemy under a pile of personalized ads. Shouldn't mess with infotainers. It definitely made a mess of my opponent's screen, which was the point. My opponent was preparing another attack. They attacked with fucking darts. Pure Ed was a good app. I hoped it worked. It was the perfect defense. I wasn't affected at all. I used Hellburn. This strong attack signal overrode enemy's commands and made them ineffective. The enemy tried to hide behind shield. The app was faster than Hellbird, and it was the right method, but I still came out on top. The advantage I gained was minimal. It wasn't worth it. I sensed my enemy grinning in anticipation for the next act. They used crossbow. I used repulsion. It's a quick type of defense that deflects enemy packets. It was the perfect defense. I used shurikens again. The enemy answered with pirouette. That was the only way to defense against shurikens. They did well. The enemy now used saber on me. Holy fucking shit. I protected myself with shield. It stopped the enemy's signals. Suddenly, my enemy stopped the duel.
Alright, Gamedec, I've seen all your tricks now. That's enough. Let's talk.
Show yourself, bitch. I want to know who I'm talking to.
This silhouette is all I can reveal for now. My avatar is somewhere else. I've been following you for a while using a slightly modified Guardian Angel app.
What do you want from me?
All I want is a friendly chat, one Gamedec to another. Sorry for all the sneaking around. Will you accept my apology?
Fine, we're cool.
Really? Great. I gotta say I didn't expect that. As a thank you, allow me to... Maybe I'll share some information with you. It might help you with your investigation. But I don't mean to force my solution on you too early. After all, I can be wrong, right? Finish your investigation and let's meet to discuss our findings, preferably somewhere private, for example.
In the graveyard.
That's right. After you've completed the investigation and finished up your business, meet me where tombstones grow, as the poet would say. Do you remember the way? You need to jump in the well or off the saloon roof. Both methods are fine. I'll see you there.
The mysterious Gamedec vanished into thin air. A moment later, I received a text file and a private message. I scanned and opened it. The message said, "Dear friend, I learned a lot from our battle today. As a thank you, please accept the enclosed files. They were dug out of the depths of the net. You might find them useful." Posing as Mr. Lepsky, the sheriff became the manager of Nanette's Gardens, charity activation program for poor kids in harvest time. It also appears that the head of Nanette's foundation is a player named Leanne. The message ended with a note. "I'd love to speak with you about this case. Remember the graveyard. I'll wait for you there." Leanne was absorbed in the book. At least she seemed to be. The woman slowly looked up at me.
Oh, it's you.
About the sheriff. You won't believe what a coincidence this is. It's actually my good friend and known influencer called Lead Pierogies 32.
He's a celebrity. I didn't know. Do you have any proof? I'd like to make sure it's true.
I ain't got shit.
Stay away!
Upon seeing me, the girl tossed her book away and made a few hesitant steps toward the exit. She was frightened.
Stay away. Get lost.
I moved a few steps closer.
I thought I told you to leave.
She took a step back.
The sheriff sent you, right?
What? Of course not. He wanted something from me, so I nodded along to get him off my back. What an obnoxious fuck. girl's face relaxed.
That's good, but I'm still not talking to you.
Tell me who you're working with.
She frowned. I'm not telling you anything.
Doll, take my word for it. It'll be better for you if you spill. I don't enjoy inflicting unnecessary pain.
Please don't hurt me.
The girl was intimidated now that she'd been broken. I have some more direct ways of dealing with gals like you. Want to find out? She shuddered. I know a thing or two about putting together convincing holo movies. I could assemble something that would utterly discredit you.
You wouldn't.
The girl cleared her throat and stood still as if paralyzed. She was terrified. Who are you working with?
Actually, no one. I'm alone. All alone.
Really? You don't have any partners?
I don't, I swear.
You like the skin? Beats the fall, right?
Yes, it's lovely. I hate the free ones. God, what are we even talking about?
Tell me what you know about the sheriff.
I hate him. I hate that motherfucker and his ass kissers. Egg, Mad Dog, and you. I hate you too. I hate all you sons of bitches.
Talk. Who are you?
So my name is Camellia. I live very low in Warsaw City. I was a farmer with their orange folk.
The girl had had enough. I wasn't getting anything else from her, not without physical force. That's it. She let out a sigh of relief, wiped away tears, and lowered her head. And then she got down on her knees.
Go away, motherfucker.
I think the sheriff's a dirty bastard, to be honest. I felt a strong, sudden gust of wind. There was an occasional mild breeze in this game, but nothing like this. I was either hallucinating or I'd just seen falling dust arrange itself in the outline of a human being. What the fuck?
Welcome to High Rock Saloon. Can I get you anything?
I looked at the bartender knowingly and whispered, "My Coriza." The bartender's eyes flashed green. I heard a familiar beep signal, and the face of my old friend appeared before my eyes.
Hey, pal. I'm in a meeting. I can't talk right now. I'll send you when I'm done. This could take a while.
Sure thing, later. I wonder if he remembered what he promised me. Pour me a drink, would you?
Need a premium account in order to buy drinks here.
Bring me in my ass. I want a fucking drink, you digital prick.
I'm sorry, those are the rules.
Fuck this guy. What the shit? Jumping down this fucking well. Oh shit, that's the point, Sherlock.
Player hired me to fill in for them as a bartender, their town profession. This paid service lets you keep a role despite being absent. If you're interested in other paid services, please visit the game's website. Now, can I get you anything?
The sheriff is a cheater. The outlaw is one of the victims. Leanne is a perpetrator. And a bitch. He works for Nanette's foundation under the pseudonym Mr. Lepsky. He runs Nanette's Gardens, an activation program for poor kids. The woman's eyes and mouth went wide. For a good while, she seemed to have trouble catching breath.
But how? I'm Nanette. I'm the head of the foundation. I had no idea that Mr. Lepsky was the sheriff. He never said a word.
Tell me everything you know about Mr. Lepsky.
I've never seen him in person. We met in game. He offered to help me with Nanette's Gardens, and we struck a deal through Viper. The program was a burden on our budget. Mr. Lepsky came up with the idea to auction items from loot boxes that spawn when you grow pumpkins. I actually can't say a bad word about him. He made the garden self-sufficient. The kids from the programs have decent equipment, supplements, supervisors, although I have to say that I'm not sure about anything more. Thank you for your help. Do you have any other questions? If not, I'll be going back to the foundation.
What do you know about the Orange Folk?
Nothing except the fact that they work on public farms and everyone thinks they're weirdos. But how's that connected to the case? Oh, now I understand. If Mr. Lepsky's the sheriff, then these people might be kids from Nanette's Gardens. Oh my God! Thank you for your help.
Tell me the truth. What do you really do in harvest time?
Nothing wrong. I'm looking for a sponsor that could support my foundation. I need money. You see, I'm running a children's cancer hospital. About the sheriff, well, he seemed rich. That's why he caught my attention. Thanks for your help. I have to go back to the foundation now. Goodbye.
Ain't that some shit? I need to get to the fucking graveyard. There's a mysterious Gamedec waiting from the graveyard. I needed to pay him a visit.
Alright, I managed to get out of that meeting, but I'm on my way to the next one. Tell me what this is about.
Could you give me maximum level at harvest time?
Come on, I can't do that. I'd lose my job.
Conducting an investigation. I need intel on a certain player.
Damn it, this kind of data is usually restricted. Can't help you myself, but I'll ask some friends. Who is this about?
Ask about the sheriff, the outlaw, and Leanne. They're from the High Rock region. Any information will help. Every detail matters.
Sure, I'll ask around. I'll send you as soon as I find anything out.
Later. This was my third visit to the graveyard. I hope the information the mysterious Gamedec had for me was worth it. Here we go. Duh, fuck. Third time already.
Welcome, Gamedec.
Hi, do I need to perform a ritual or exorcism to make you reveal yourself?
Right, let me exit Guardian Angel mode. Wait, how do I do that? I think it's here. It's me, Ken Zhao. We met in Twisted and Prevented. I was conducting my first case there.
Right, we met. I remember you were chasing some crooks. You had some information concerning my case.
Yes, I think there's something fishy going on. The orange folk use a cheat that helps them get loot boxes.
They might be using enhanced boost. Harvest time does permit such solutions.
Maybe you're right. Something's off here. I've got a feeling these guys use some heavy-duty shit. The sheriff, that Billy guy, uses a similar cheat to win duels.
Have you got any proof?
I overheard him talk about the cheat in a conversation with Egg. I don't have proof, but why would he talk about it for no reason?
It makes sense.
Sadly, I don't have any substantial evidence. I'd like to get some. I think the sheriff controls the work done by the orange folk somehow. That Egg guy and Mad Dog are involved in it. It's some kind of slavery, Chief.
What you're saying makes sense.
I saw that you closed the deal with Billy, and now you're obliged to do that job for him, but maybe it's a good idea to get him in Relium, find out who he really is.
Yes, we need to get him.
Aw, fucking son.
I've got the investigator. That program tracks people down in Relium. You just need to
Get in physical contact with the avatar of the person you're looking for and hold them for a while. I know. I've tried. That's the problem.
It's a matter of experience. I can do it. I'll show you how it's done.
But there's a thin layer of digital air between your hand and another avatar. Maybe that's why it's easier to cheat with a speed boost here. I've searched the code, and it seems that barriers cause the birds to vanish. I mean, they're there, but it can't be seen. There's a layer of air. I think there's a safeguard against the app. Whether it was done upon player request or of their own accord, you can't just touch anyone here. So you can't run the investigator by touching someone. I've thought it over, and I've got an idea.
Do tell.
Can you hook up the investigator to a bullet and then shoot someone? The bullet would get inside the avatar and stay there long enough.
You're thinking like a game deck, Ken. That's exactly what I was thinking. Ken looked at my weapon with approval.
I see you managed to get a piece. What you do?
I took a bullet from the gun cylinder, opened the investigator window, and linked the program to the bullet in my avatar. Done.
Damn, Chief, watching you work sure is something. Now you need to challenge the sheriff to a sunset duel and shoot that douchebag. It's getting dark, so we should go. I'll assist you as an invisible protective spirit. You can thank me later.
I assume I have no say in this? You'll follow me whether I want it or not?
I'm involved in this as hell. I want to know how it ends. Maybe I can learn something. Maybe I can help.
I might need an invisible helping hand. Stay close.
Great. Lead the way, Chief.
I looked at Ken. He nodded. He was ready.
Mr. Gamedec, quick! They're hanging Stanley!
Lead the way.
Follow me! Ranchers, witness a triumph of law and order. There's no place for scammers or scoundrels in High Rock. Yes, it's just a game, but most players take this world seriously. It's a home, a place of respite, meditation, and honest work. And this person committed fraud. Lots of fraud. The truth about him, we shall soon see it light of day. We are ever closer to the truth. Mad Dog Ache, you know what to do with this motherfucker. We have to do something, Chief. Stanley's your client, isn't he?
I challenge you to a duel. That's how you say it, right? The game system sent a message to the players. A duel was about to begin.
I've got a feeling the new guy will shoot first. Nah, Sheriff always shoots first. Look, we got ourselves a daredevil. I'll put a bullet in you with pleasure. No one's ever beaten me, motherfucker, and you won't either.
The presence of the orange folk gave me comfort. I'm sure all my predecessors had fired the first shot. That's why they lost. The sheriff was said to be the best gunman in High Rock. I couldn't allow myself to make any unnecessary movements. The sheriff adjusted his hat and widened his stance. I was breathing calmly. Everything was under control. I needed the element of surprise. Ken was known to have good ideas. I nodded slightly in his direction. Ken approached the sheriff and waited for my signal. He was wearing an invisible skin, so the sheriff didn't see shit. He stood motionless, the sheriff, a jaded expression on his face. He looked as if the duel was a mere formality to him. The shot could decide the success of the entire plan. I started feeling anxious. I focused on my opponent's shadow. Its mimicked his silhouette, revealing elements not visible from my angle. I didn't notice anything special. The sheriff slowly lifted the edge of his coat to reveal a holstered revolver. The stress intensified. I felt how hard my heart was beating. I waited. The tension was rising. Looking me straight in the eye, the man slowly shifted the weight of his body to the other leg. Sweat was running down my forearm. My heart was pounding so hard it made my chest shudder. The tension was unbearable. I nodded toward Ken. Ken kicked the ground, throwing sand in the sheriff's eyes. This was my chance. Boom, motherfucker.
Did you see that splash? Just a couple particles. Keep your pants on.
I fired a shot. The sheriff looked at the wound and logged out momentarily. I was hoping that the investigator managed to get a read on his location.
I'd shit on his doormat if I knew his address. Investigator's in. We'll find the sheriff even if he logged out of the game. Mr. Gamedec, that was amazing. You gave him a proper ass whooping. Thank you for saving my dignity.
I nodded and winked at Ken. It was a team effort.
Actually, since you've beaten the sheriff, shouldn't you? Yeehaw, partner! Congratulations! You triumphed in Sunset Duel. According to the rules, you now assume the mantle of sheriff in the town of High Rock.
Great. I'll be the sheriff.
Yippee-ki fucking nay!
Like all the other players, I received a message from the game system. Yeehaw! Game Holder is the new sheriff of High Rock.
Special sheriff skin will be available to collect within 3 days of your account being verified. Along with the new role, you'll receive the legendary Horn of Plenty Premium Pack.
Yeah, thanks. What's inside?
50,000 gold coins and 12 mystery gifts. Drop by your farm to open them. Yeehaw! I'll see you at the farm, Sheriff. Yeehaw! Don't let it all go to your head now, Sheriff.
I'll let you bask in the warmth of the golden star dancing cloud. The man opened a deck window visible to both of us.
All right, let's see if the investigator attached to the bullet did its job.
I looked at the report. The progress bar stopped at 100%. There was an address below.
It's one of the mushrooms, living quarters for the builders of Warsaw City. It's below the low level. What a trip. He's probably getting up from a couch now. If he's figured out we tracked him, he'll bolt. We gotta go. Want me to pick you up?
Yeah, I'll be waiting at the apartment.
As you wish, partner. See you there. Mr. Gamedec, I still want to talk about something important.
Sure, what's on your mind? The boy froze. He was standing motionless and staring vacantly into the distance. The orange folk started disappearing one by one.
Kid, no. Leave me alone. Leave.
All members of the orange folk had left the game. I needed to do the same. I opened the logout window.
Yeehaw, partner. Leaving already? Don't you want to visit your farm before you go?
It was probably the last chance I'd get to see the place. Yeah, okay, let's check it out.
Yeehaw!
I want to spruce up my farm, bitch.
Congrats, cowboy. You gathered 1,000 coins. Now you can buy a cow. That's amazing.
Handy Joe had mentioned a premium account before, but I decided it wouldn't hurt to ask. How do I buy one?
It's very simple. You need to purchase a monthly subscription. You'll find the right form as well as the terms and conditions in your mailbox.
By registering one of the contestants to personal data processing, the game account could also be linked to ChitHub account. I didn't want that. I'm here on official business, not for fun. I don't have time for this shit.
Would you really pass up a chance to become a real farmer?
Yes, really.
Are you sure? Right now you can get 50% off your first month.
Yes, I'm fucking sure.
Can I get a yeehaw?
Fuck off.
Right on.
Open the chest I found, bitch.
Of course, I'll do it right away, free of charge. Only one at a time, but you can keep bringing them to me. There's no limit. Let's see what's inside. You've received a rare chest unique item. It's the skull of a bison from Dead Canyon, an object of envy and desire of many farmers in High Rock.
Alright, it's time to get the fuck out of here. I'm going back to reality.
I'll be seeing you then. Come back around sometime.
I clicked the logout icon. It was time to visit the sheriff in his lair. And kick him in the fucking dick. I hadn't been so close to the Undercity in a long time. The smell of rotting plants, smoke from the bonfires made by those living in the ruins. The volatile smell of fumes from machines clearing old Warsaw. All were trying to penetrate the veil of oblivion to bring back my childhood. Ken came to pick me up with his Newmobile. We went to the Mushroom, one of the places where the Polis builders had lived under a century ago. On the way, Ken talked a mile a minute. He was excited like a fan during a game. We touched down on a narrow parking lot by the door of the place indicated by the investigator.
This is the moment, right, Chief? We'll get the bad guys and kick their asses. I knew being a Gamedec would be more thrilling than good-o-bads. Fuck, I feel like a real detective. But you're the one with experience, Chief. Lead the way. We go in guns blazing, right?
Fuck yeah. We need to catch him off guard. We go in guns blazing. Do you know how to force the door open? Ken grinned. All right, 3. 1, 2, 3. The door creaked and came off its hinges with a crash. Get that motherfucker!
Get him! Kids, take cover. We got a bum invasion on our hands.
The guy bit the tip of his tongue. He was in the mood for a brawl. An electric knuckle duster flashed on his clenched fist.
Look, dog, it's time the Gamedec from Harvest I told you about. The kid was right. They did track him down. Fuck you want?
I'm here to kick ass and take names. I looked at Ken and nodded. Ken, be a good sport and explain to these gentlemen why we fuckers have paid them a visit. Ken bared his teeth in a smile.
Why, it would be my pleasure. Are you gentlemen familiar with the Hammerfield pain scale and good-o-bads?
The goon looked mockingly at his buddy.
Yo, check this out. This white guy thinks he can talk. I'll take that as a no. Time's up. Why don't we test your pain tolerance?
Enough talk. Get the fuck out of here. These people didn't deserve mercy. We neutralized them permanently.
That's the fate of shitheads who use.
Ken's voice sounded raspy and inhuman.
Wait, the sheriff, Chief. You see the sheriff anywhere?
He was the only kid that didn't get scared. He seemed overly excited.
Mr. Gamedec, oh wow! I've never seen anything like that. Only games have those wham-bam animations. They had no chance. They're strong and scary, but they were scared of you. You have to go upstairs. He's upstairs. Oh, I'm Stanley, by the way. I mean, Tom. I forgot to tell you. I was afraid, but you did fine. You can handle Kid, too. You showed them. We knew that you must be good with all those likes under your profile, and that you find us.
Wait, I wanted to. He wouldn't listen. He was too excited.
I heard his jaw crunch when he got hit. And yesterday we had no dinner and they laughed. Well, who's laughing now? Because the investigation had to lead you here. I knew it. And I knew I didn't have to say anything because you'd figure it all out. I mean, you can tell who's bad and who's good here. They were dirty and hunched over like any villain in a game. If someone looks like that, you know they're bad. I knew you'd figure it out.
Stanley, focus. He grew a bit sad and fell silent. I could see he was used to harsh orders. Where's the sheriff?
Upstairs. I think he tried to run from you. We should go, boss, quickly. Stanley, is there another way out? Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know about the way out because we're not allowed in the office ever. It's for grown-ups only. But you've got to be fast, like a duel in Harvest Time. Except in the game, the good guys are always inside, and they shoot to defend.
What does the sheriff look like?
He's big, much bigger than us. He's got long hair and smiles off him, but not in a friendly way. And he's cheeky and skinny and walks fast. And he sometimes talks weirdly, like "what's up" or "see ya," like old people.
What does he look like?
Well, I told you. All right, easy. What kind of hair does he have? Dirty.
Thank you, Stanley. I mean, Tom. We're going upstairs now. We'll be right back.
You're right, Chief. We need to find the sheriff quickly.
Ken stopped me when I was about to open the door.
Chief, you know I may look like a total pro, but I've never caught anyone. Really, I mean. Nor interrogated. Any tips before we go in?
First of all, the investigator led us here, but we don't know who's behind all this. Let's get the guy who acts as the sheriff in the game, interrogate him, and find out what's going on. Watch him closely. Try to remember what he says and how. If he lies, he should be inconsistent. Lying requires a very good memory.
Very smart, Chief. I'll try. I'll leave the talking to you. I'll listen and learn. Hands up, motherfucker. Prepare for justice.
You realize that was too much.
Sorry, Chief. Got carried away. Hiya. You're out of luck, guys. The boss is gone. He heard you coming and jumped out the window. He told me to stay and clean up here.
The Undercity was over 100 meters below. He couldn't have jumped out a mushroom window and survived, unless it was suicide.
Just some kid. It's good that you're here. I'll go check on your friends.
I opened the deck, turned on a program, and encoded the proper light pattern. This would affect his limbic system. Okay, relax. Trust me. Tell me what's going on here from the beginning.
I'm the boss here, I'll have you know. In the fucking flesh.
These kids are suffering. Doesn't your conscience bother you?
Why? It all works, after all. And it's making money. More than good-for-nothing Gamedec. Anyone would do the same in my place if they could. Anyone. And the kids can't do it. They need someone to decide things for them.
He's proud of it.
Of course, everything was going great until the punks called it Gamedec.
We've come here to solve your problem. The kids called us because they were miserable.
And they didn't tell you that they wanted to play more? Because they usually do. They have it better in harvest time than they would in the streets. We all just want to make some money and escape poverty.
What you're teaching the kids is how to cheat. That's why they get disconnected.
You're leading the kids down the wrong path. You're old enough to know how that ends, aren't you? Turned out well, pretty well for me. True, I've had to watch over these little shits, but at least I'm making a living for me. That's a win. We give them the cheats so the whole operation pays off. It's not my fault that they use them more often than prescribed. We do what we can to control it, but there's only so much we can do. Besides, they keep wanting more.
You made the kids use a speed boost cheat.
We all use it sometimes. Why do you think no one can beat the sheriff in a duel? Anyways, the kids slack off, then they cheat on themselves and their plants to catch up and make money. But we all gotta make a living.
Ken's face turned red.
What did you say? On themselves? But that can accelerate the aging process. Chief, that can cause Adelheim syndrome, accelerated aging. The organism works at full power and gets worn out. That's messed up. What's the alternative? Starving in Low City? Better to get old a little faster but actually get to live, to survive. Don't you get it?
I get it, kiddo. I get more than you might think. You see, I was raised here. I was also ready to sacrifice a lot just to get the fuck out.
What the hell, Chief? You agree with him? I was fucking raised here too, but I'd never make anyone do something like this.
I don't agree with him, but I understand his point of view. There's a difference.
You listening, newbie? That's a real Gamedec calling. Talking.
Alright, that's enough for me. I took out my walk-tail, opened a command window, and dialed Nanette's number. Let's see what the head of this operation has to say about this.
Hello there, Gamedec. Is this the moment you'd like me to return the favor?
Listen, Nanette. I'm in a mushroom right now. It's one of those 100-year-old structures abandoned by the builders of Polis.
I know what mushrooms are. Have you found anything interesting there?
Yeah. The headquarters of Nanette's Gardens. It's a dump. A stinky, creepy slum.
What? But how? I rented this place nice.
The kids are addicted to the game. They do nothing but play all day. It doesn't seem healthy.
I had no idea. This cannot go on. I'll take care of it right away. These children need care and attention. Just please don't inform the police. An official investigation could paralyze my foundation. I wouldn't be able to help those kids.
No, Nanette. It all happened when the children were under your care.
But I didn't know anything.
You should have known. I'm done with this discussion. If I were you, I'd forget about Nanette Gardens. That's all, bitch.
Thank you for telling me this, Gamedec. I am once again asking you, please let me fix my mistake and take care of these children. Let me know what you decide, I beg you.
We've heard what the kid had to say. What do you think, kid?
I'm not sure, Chief. Apparently neither the sheriff nor Leanne is behind all this. Who is then? Could this punk be the boss here? How do we make sure they're safe? Regardless of whatever the fuck you think, you don't have a choice. If you call the police, these kids will end up in juvie or on walkways. I would say the latter. You're going to leave them alone in Low City? It'd be much worse off than here. Unless you want to take them and raise them. No, well, fine. I know how to take care of them.
This isn't such a bad place for these kids. We just need to get rid of this unhealthy shit, stimulants and some of the cheats. I'll bring my people here. They'll keep the place running, but the money will go into my account. Ken looked at me intently.
You think, Chief? I guess they'll be better off with your friends than an inhumane system.
Of course they will. My crew will make sure they stay healthy. No more suspicion stuff. They'll definitely have to learn how to clean up. Kid headed for the exit.
Where do you think you're going, punk? You're the one responsible for this whole mess. So what? I'm a minor. You wouldn't do anything to a minor, would you? How about we fuck him up anyways, Chief? Introduce him to the holy punishing hand of justice. I'm itching to beat the shit out of him.
I got tired of listening to him talk. The boy felt absolutely no remorse. He didn't feel anything. I drew my gun and aimed it at the kid's head. Fuck him. Parts of his brain painted the wall. The force caused an eye to pop out of its socket. He looked surprised as he slumped to the floor.
Oh, fuck! That was heavy. Very fucking heavy.
Ken had to suppress his gag reflex.
Let's not fool ourselves. If you'd let him live, he would have kept doing the same thing. People don't fucking change.
Goddamn right they don't. The crates in the office appeared the same as the ones downstairs. I scanned the chips on several random crates. It was a charity. The Nanette Foundation donated them to the Nanette Gardens free of charge. Judging from the delivery dates, it was a common practice. They were always collected by Mr. Lepsky. Someone else would handle this.
Will it be fine from now on? We won't get logged out anymore? Can we still play together? Are they going to kick us out of here? They aren't, right? Sir, what's going to happen now? Who's going to take care of us? You won't leave us alone, will you?
No, I won't leave you. I'll take care of you and my co-workers. The kids started talking over one another, cries of joy mingled with words of astonishment.
But we can stay here together? Can we see other games and not get logged out anymore? What if they separate us and ban us from playing? The kids always told us what to do. Who will tell us now?
Calm down, little shits. You felt terrible, remember? That's why you hired a Gamedec. I solved your problem. You got what you wanted. What do you say in a situation like that? Well,
thank you, Mr. Gamedec.
The children fell silent.
I gotta say, it feels pretty strange when they just stare at us without saying a word. Our first case solved. We should talk it over, Chief, but maybe not here. Let's go back to your place. Now, let's wait for your colleagues. Good evening, you two. Welcome home. The time is perfect. Temperature normal.
Ken meet Bliss. She's my major domo.
She's cool, Chief. Hi there, Translucent. Ken Zhao, a good at bats player and one of the few players in the world who can play for 15 seconds at the 19th level of pain. He's been the most efficient attacker for the last 2 seasons.
Ken looked at me content.
She knows everything about me. Intellectual personality, great choice, Chief.
We're going to talk about your investigation.
All right, let me tell you what I learned from a certain clan. Did you notice those 2 trippy girls in TMP, the ones who were chatting people up? They seemed strange, so I talked to them. Turned out they were recruiting people to clan in a different game. Wait, it gets better. This clan believes in some crazy-ass stuff. They're also obsessed with the number 314. I think they're a cult, so you see...
What's the deal with them and the 314? I feel like I've heard something about it before.
At first, I thought it was just a reference to the number pi, but there's more to it, Chief. I gotta say, it gives me the creeps. You know, it's like whenever I see this number or even hear anything about it, something happens. Don't fucking laugh at me.
I'm not. Don't neglect it. You're feeling something, that's a fact. It might just be your emotions, but it might be something else, too.
Worth investigating, right? That's what I thought. Because you know, Chief, I kind of believe there might be something mystical as shit going on here. It's like when I see 314, it feels like a sign that was put up there especially for me. Like how it's special. Strange, isn't it? What if the clan knows that I'm interested in them? And they reprogram my walktel and my lenses? Worth investigating.
What do you know about the clan?
They're called the Han clan. Apparently Han means book. It's their emblem, a book in front of a tree. They play MMOs, keep talking about meditation, observation, and shit like that. Even more than about fighting in territories. I mean, you know, Chief, when they fight for real. They know how to play. But as soon as those girls realized I had money, they told me I was special and my spiritual path leads to the clan. Suspicious, huh?
What is the Tree of Knowing?
Well, I'm not sure yet, but I'm really interested in finding out. You see, this goddamn tree is what somebody used to destroy my career. They're never so specific about the tree. It's some kind of artifact. Apparently, it only appears once in a while. It's a big deal for them. They say the tree gives the truth and inspiration and sends some signal shit. Kinda seems like they get high a lot. Suspicious, huh?
Has somebody hired you for this investigation?
Not really, working on my own.
You know that a Gamedec gets hired, discusses their remuneration with the client, and only then begins their investigation, right?
This one's an exception. Well, second exception. The first was harvest time. I hired myself to find out who killed my career. Somebody's got to find the culprit. Are you in, Chief?
All right. This might be too difficult for you to handle on your own.
Awesome. We'll be like Good at Bad's team, but in Relio. And in all other games in the world, too.
Enough about the clan, Ken. Let's call it a day.
Time for me to go. I've spent almost 100 hours in Virtualia. I'd like to sleep it off before I follow a promising clue in the morning.
You can stay here for the night, Ken.
Thanks, somebody told me you'd offer. I hope I could spend the night.
Ken finished talking before I managed to cut in.
On this comfy sofa. Shall I turn on guest settings? On this comfy sofa. Okay. No, Ken, I'm not gonna fuck you. You queer bait motherfucker.
With every new day came new challenges. Ken wanted to meet and talk about his case. We hadn't discussed the time and place, though. No answer. I wondered if Bliss knew anything. We'd have to find out in the next video, though. So thanks for watching.